Hey, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Life of Nikki Lee podcast. I hope you're doing well and living your fullest every day. So, today I want to bring some awareness to the case of a missing young lady out of Hoover, Alabama. Her name is Carlethia Nicole Russell. She's affectionately known as Carlee to her loved ones. She's 25 years old. Carlee was last seen on July the 13th around 9:35 p.m. when she reported a toddler walking on the side of the interstate. She was on Interstate 459 near the exit 11 when she saw this toddler who appeared to be between the ages of 3 and 4 walking on the side of the road. So basically, like any concerned citizen, she pulled over, she reported it to the police, and then she called her sister-in-law afterwards. She got out of the car. From what her sister-in-law said, she asked the child, were they okay? And she didn't hear a response. And then shortly after that, she heard a scream. And then from that moment on, all they heard after that was just traffic. When the police got there, it was about 3 minutes later. And that's when they found Carlee's phone. Her car door was open. They found her Apple Watch and her hat and her wig. And all that was left behind the scene. Now, she was driving a red Mercedes. A few people reported seeing a gray vehicle parked in front of her Mercedes. So they believe that was probably the car of the kidnapper or kidnappers. And also it should be noted that there was not a report made for a missing toddler in that area, and no other ones that they know of at this time. So that pretty much tells you, unfortunately, this was a setup. And you ladies, especially my young ladies who, you're out here, you got stuff to do, you got to work, you got school, all these things going on. You definitely have to be careful because there's so much going on in this world. And I can tell you, I have heard so many tactics that these sex traffickers, that they use, because unfortunately, I think that she may have been a victim of people who, kidnapped for sex trafficking. I pray that that's not the case. And Lord knows, I pray this young lady is brought home safely. But when you think about this particular situation, when the police got there, there was no toddler. So this very well looks like a setup. And they do these things. They will use children. Because I remember a while back, I heard, you would see posts where you would hear about people, riding around in vans, and they use things like children and all these things, like, or a female in general looking like she's in some sort of distressing moment to draw the attention from someone who is willing to help. And that's when they swoop in, they kidnap the victim, and they don't hear from them anymore. And it's just so sad that we live in a world where you can't even stop and get out to assist a child. These people, there are some sick people out here in the world, you guys. It really is. And when you think about not even being able to help a child, you see a child at 9:30 at night walking on the side of the interstate, who wouldn't be concerned? Like, what is the child doing out there? And then, you have people saying things like, well, she should have never gotten out of the car. She was doing what any concerned person would have done. Because if that child had somehow gotten away from someone, or was scared, or had wandered off, or was lost and wandered into the interstate, and, they could have been hit by a car. These are the things that goes through your mind when you see situations like that. And a lot of times, people just know to react, and to react quickly, because you feel like, okay, it's a child on the side of the road. I have to hurry up so they don't get hurt. And that was her mindset. She was in the medical field, and I believe she was a nursing student, if I'm not mistaken. And she did what anybody who was concerned would do. And naturally, if you're in the medical field, that's where your heart is. You want to help people. And it's just so sad that, you hear her mother, and, they're telling, they're going to the public, and they're basically telling about what the experience was, those last moments where they heard her. And this is someone's daughter, you guys. This is someone's sister. This is someone's friend. She needs us. We need to put her name out there as much as possible. And I just pray to God that somebody has heard or seen something. I pray that this young lady, again, I pray she's brought home safely. This is terrifying. And again, I want to urge all you people, not just young ladies, but young men too now, because you got sex trafficking, you got drugs, you got organ harvesting. There are people out here working for the black market. They are doing some atrocious things, you guys, and you just have to be careful, especially if you have to travel out at night going somewhere. Please be careful. If you see something that looks weird, stay in your vehicle, call the cops, get to a safe area, and call the cops. You guys, Carlee was just 10 minutes away from her home. All she was trying to do was go get her family something to eat. And she was not heard from since. This is so frightening. This could have easily been anyone else's loved one. And we just have to put awareness out, because unfortunately, things like this, they do happen. And if you just look at the number of women who have gone missing or who have been killed, like, those numbers are like, my God, it's very, very disturbing. These numbers have skyrocketed, you guys. There is true madness going on out here in this world. And truth be told, no one is safe. And you have got to be aware of your surroundings. Even when you're at home, you still need things for protection. You still need, your cameras and your security, whatever security systems you have at home, you still need all that, even when you're at home. So when you go out, you definitely know that you have to be careful, because you could be pulling somewhere and just, getting gas or getting a quick snack, and you don't know. You don't know that someone sighted you. You don't know that someone has targeted you, or they're following your car. These are some very frightening things when you think about it. And I don't say this because I don't want people to just walk around fearful and scared, but I want people to know you just really have to be careful, especially our women and our children, because this is a lot. And again, these numbers are skyrocketing. And we just have to do all that we can to take the measures to make sure that we can do all that we can to help someone, either whether it's through bringing knowledge and awareness, to helping to report some information that we have, because things like this, it just breaks my heart. It really does. It really does. And I remember I was on Instagram maybe about the day before yesterday, and I saw there was a older woman. she was putting some gas in her car. And it was nighttime. And, you know, my mother has always told me, she said, girl, you got to stop somewhere. You know, you better do it before it gets dark. You know, you better do this, you better do that. And now I truly understand why you hear people say things like that, because it's just crazy out here. You will be surprised just how much people, you know, will stalk and try to target you for something. You know, you got people out here who want drugs, people out here who want money. It's just so sad. So very sad. But anyway, let me get back to the story with this. So there was this older woman who was, she was pumping gas at night, right? And so next thing you know, there's this huge van that pulls up. There's like 3 guys that hops out of this van, y'all. And you know what this woman did? And it was so smart, and it saved her life. Thank you, Jesus. This woman took that gas pump and she started dousing these guys with gasoline. I mean, dousing them, because when the 3 of them hopped out of the van, they were coming at her from different sides. And honey, when I tell you she got that gas pump, she started spraying their asses. I was like, get them, girl. You know, because I know she sprayed them out. Like, she didn't care if it got on her car. She was just like, it was almost like she was spraying a water gun at them. And that gas was pumping out heavy too. And thank God that they fled the scene. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, that was smart. That was really smart. She was doing some fast thinking, because when you really think about it, it's just little moments like that. Every bit of your critical thinking matters, because you don't know what people are going to come at you with. But yeah, you guys, just be careful. We're just living in a society today. It's not safe. It's definitely not safe for young women or kids. And you just have to be careful. If you have to go somewhere at night, you know, get to where you have to go and take it on back home. And please be careful. If you see something weird that looks out of place, call the police. Do not get out of your car. You know, and I know that we all love being concerned citizens, and that is a great thing. But people out here are moving grimy, you guys. We have to be careful. I just pray that Carlee is brought home safe. I'm going to put some information in the description box below. Please share her pictures, please, on your social media, whatever platforms you have. Please put this woman's information out there. She is missing. Her family needs her brought home safely. Okay. All right, you guys, this is going to wrap it up for me today. This is Nikki Lee signing out. Love you guys and be safe. Bye.